Have you ever wondered why sun protection is so crucial for your skin? Well, let's dive into this compelling subject. Our sun, the life-giving celestial body, while crucial for our existence, emits something not so great for our skin: ultraviolet rays, commonly known as UV rays. These invisible yet potent rays can cause significant damage to our skin. Imagine a silent, invisible enemy constantly at work, chipping away at our skin's health. That's precisely what UV rays are. Now you might think, but I only need to worry about this on hot, sunny days, right? Wrong. The sun plays no favorites. Whether it's a scorching summer day or a cloudy winter afternoon, UV rays are always at play. They have this uncanny ability to penetrate through clouds, fog, and even glass. So, no matter the weather, your skin is always at risk. And what's the risk, you ask? Well, it's more serious than you might think. Prolonged and unprotected exposure to these rays can lead to premature aging, making you look older than you actually are. It's not just about vanity, though. Sunburn is another common issue, which not only hurts but can also lead to significant skin damage. But the most serious risk of all is skin cancer. Yes, you heard that right. Skin cancer is not just a product of genetic misfortune, but can be a direct result of unprotected exposure to the sun's harmful UV rays. In fact, according to the Skin Cancer Foundation, more than 90% of skin cancer cases are associated with exposure to ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So, it's clear that sun protection isn't just about avoiding a painful sunburn or preventing wrinkles. It's about safeguarding your health, your well-being, and ultimately, your life. Now that we understand why sun protection is so vital, let's dive into the science behind it. Sun protection is more than just slathering on some sunscreen. It's a science. When we talk about sun protection, we're really talking about protecting ourselves from the harmful ultraviolet or UV rays emitted by the sun. These rays come in two types: UVA and UVB. UVA rays are the ones that can prematurely age your skin, causing wrinkles and age spots. UVB rays, on the other hand, are the primary cause of sunburn. Both of these can damage your skin at a cellular level and are a key factor in the development of skin cancer. These UV rays penetrate your skin, wreaking havoc on the cells below. They can cause DNA damage, disrupt cell functioning, and even lead to cell death. This isn't just a surface-level problem. UV damage can reach the deeper layers of your skin, causing long-term harm that's not immediately visible to the naked eye. Now let's talk about SPF, or sun protection factor. This is a measure of how well a sunscreen can protect your skin from UVB rays. Here's how it works. If it normally takes your skin 20 minutes to start turning red in the sun without protection, a sunscreen with an SPF of 30 would theoretically allow you to stay in the sun 30 times longer without getting burned. So in this case, you'd have about 10 hours of protection. But here's the catch. No sunscreen, regardless of strength, should be expected to stay effective longer than 2 hours without reapplication. Plus, sunscreen often gets washed off with sweat or water, so it's crucial to reapply regularly. That brings us to the term broad spectrum. A broad spectrum sunscreen is designed to protect you from both UVA and UVB rays. This is important because while SPF measures protection from UVB rays, it doesn't take into account the damage UVA rays can do. So, for the best protection, you want to use a broad-spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30 every day, even on cloudy days. Knowing the science behind sun protection can help you make better choices for your skin. So, what are the key points to remember? There are a few key points everyone should remember about sun protection. Let's start with the basics: sunscreen. This is your first line of defense against the sun's harmful rays, but not just any sunscreen will do. It's essential to choose a broad-spectrum sunscreen. Broad spectrum means it protects against both UVA and UVB rays, both of which can damage your skin and increase your risk of skin cancer. And remember, the higher the SPF, the better. Your sunscreen should have an SPF of at least 30. This will block 97% of the sun's UVB rays. But sun protection doesn't stop at just slathering on some sunscreen in the morning. It's a round-the-clock job. Even on cloudy days, up to 80% of the sun's harmful UV rays can penetrate your skin. So make it a daily habit to apply your sunscreen, come rain or shine. Now you may think that once you've applied your sunscreen, you're good to go for the day. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Sunscreen needs to be reapplied every 2 hours when you're exposed to the sun. That's because it can rub off, sweat off, or wash off throughout the day. So keep that bottle handy and don't be afraid to reapply. Beyond sunscreen, there are other important measures you can take to protect your skin. Seek shade during the peak sun hours, which are typically between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. This is when the sun's rays are the most intense. Wearing protective clothing and sunglasses can also provide an extra layer of defense. Look for clothing with a high UPF rating, which indicates how much UV radiation the fabric allows to reach your skin. And don't forget your eyes. Sunglasses should block out 99 to 100% of both UVA and UVB rays. Remember, sun protection is not just a summer thing, it's a daily necessity. So take these key points to heart and make sun protection a part of your everyday routine, because when it comes to the sun, it's better to be safe than sorry. Despite the importance of sun protection, there are many myths surrounding it. One such myth is the idea that sunscreen isn't necessary on cloudy days. You might think, the sun's hidden, so why bother? Let's dispel that myth right now. Even on a cloudy day, up to 80% of the sun's harmful UV rays can penetrate your skin. So yes, you need sunscreen every day, regardless of the weather. Now let's tackle another common myth. If you have dark skin, you don't need sun protection. This is a dangerous misconception. While it's true that melanin, the pigment that gives skin its color, does provide some protection against sun damage, it's not a magic shield. People with dark skin can and do get sunburned, and they're also at risk for skin cancer. So, regardless of your skin tone, daily sun protection is a must. Another myth that needs debunking is, the higher the SPF, the better the protection. SPF, or sun protection factor, is a measure of how well a sunscreen protects against UVB rays, the type of radiation that causes sunburn. But here's the catch. A higher SPF doesn't necessarily offer significantly better protection. For instance, SPF 30 blocks nearly 97% of UVB rays, while SPF 50 blocks about 98%. The difference is minimal. What's more important is to use a broad-spectrum sunscreen, which protects against both UVA and UVB rays, and to reapply it every 2 hours when exposed to the sun. One more myth we often hear is, sunscreen is all you need for sun protection. While sunscreen plays a vital role, it's just one part of a comprehensive sun protection strategy. Don't forget to seek shade during peak sun hours, wear protective clothing, and put on a hat and sunglasses. By debunking these myths, we can ensure everyone takes sun protection seriously. Because when it comes to guarding against the harmful effects of the sun, there's no room for misconceptions. Neglecting sun protection can have severe consequences. Now that's a statement that carries more weight than you might think. Imagine this for a moment. The sun, that great fiery ball in the sky, is a double-edged sword. It gives us light, warmth, and helps plants to grow. But it can also be harmful, especially when we don't protect ourselves properly. One of the most immediate impacts of neglecting sun protection is sunburn. Yes, we've all been there. That uncomfortable, painful redness that makes even the lightest touch unbearable. But sunburn is more than just skin deep. It's a clear sign that the skin has been damaged by the sun's ultraviolet rays, and this damage can have lasting effects. Next, let's talk about premature aging. You've probably heard of it, but what does it really mean? Well, it's all about the skin losing its youthful appearance. Think wrinkles, fine lines, and age spots. And guess what? The sun's ultraviolet rays are a major culprit. They can break down the collagen and elastin in our skin, the very proteins that keep our skin firm and elastic. Over time, this can lead to a loss of skin elasticity, causing the skin to sag and wrinkle prematurely. But perhaps the most serious consequence of neglecting sun protection is an increased risk of skin cancer. Skin cancer is the most common form of cancer worldwide, and exposure to the sun's ultraviolet rays is a major risk factor. In fact, it's estimated that around 90% of non-melanoma skin cancers are associated with exposure to ultraviolet radiation from the sun. This includes two of the most common types of skin cancer, basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma. But here's the good news. These consequences are preventable. By taking proper sun protection measures, such as using a broad-spectrum sunscreen with at least SPF 30 every day and reapplying it every 2 hours when exposed to the sun, we can significantly reduce our risk of sunburn, premature aging, and skin cancer. As we've learned today, sun protection is not just a precaution, it's a necessity. Protect your skin and enjoy the sun safely.